Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm very sorry I haven't posted in quite a while. I've just been extremely busy, but since Easter is only a few days away because it's extremely early this year, I'm going to try and do an Easter basket tutorial for you. So your basic supplies are scissors, duct tape. I'm going to use pink and white for this one. You can also use an X-Acto knife if you like. I like it better. Then a bucket. I'm using an old bucket that broke, so you can use any kind of bucket. You could probably even use a duct tape roll if you want to make a really small basket. So I'm gonna start off because I want to try and cut off this. And hopefully not break my scissors, although that'd be fun. There we go. Just so there was no little bump. So, to start, you can choose any tape. I'm going to start with white just because I have a little bit more of it. And you're going to want your bucket. I'm just going to tape the whole thing white to start, just to get the image gone. I'm going to peel this off. Okay. So, I'm going to measure once. Just measuring the length of the bucket. And I'm going to cut a whole bunch of strips that size just so I can cover it. So if your bucket's a solid color, you don't have to cover it if you don't want to. I'm just doing it because mine has an image that I don't really need to see for this project. So go ahead and just continue cutting your strips if you're covering, and if not, just wait around for a second. I'm not sure if I have enough, but I'm just going to start covering it so my board is full. I'm just going to make it so it goes over a little bit. Then I'm just going to fold that. It will be wrinkly just because it's circle at the bottom, so just continue on with that. So I need a little bit more. I only have these two spots left, so I'm just going to do a small strip to cover that instead of one whole strip. And there we go. It is all white. So, now you can set this aside. And I'm going to take my second color, and I want to add like a ruffle design on it. So, to do that, I just wanted to make sure I don't waste time. So I'm going to circle around to see how long I need to make it. And I would just add probably about 5 or 6 inches, because when you ruffle, your tape folds in so you have actually less of a length to it. I'm going to do one more. Same length. Just to make my ruffles a little bit bigger, I'm actually going to add one more. And it does go off my cutting mat, so if it does for you, it's no worries. Flip one over. Take this one. Stick it on. Make sure it's flat. If you get a wrinkle, you can just make that the underside. So since this one has a big one there, this is going to be my underside. So, your underside should face down. Stick this one on. And try and line it up as best possible. Now as you see, I have a little bit extra. So I'm going to take my scissors and just cut it. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay. Now you're going to want to flip it over. And you should have one small and one big. And you're just going to take the big one and fold it just enough to cover up all the sticky. It's okay if it's not perfect since you're not going to see this side anyways. And there you go. Now you're going to take your bucket, and I'm going to try and do this backwards for you. So line it up with the bottom, and every few inches or so, just bend it back a little and stick it down, and that makes a ruffle. So just continue doing that throughout. And don't do too many because then you won't have enough to make it around the whole bucket. I'm going to do one more where the two tapes meet. There you are. And since this is floppy, you're going to take your pink, or whatever color you used, and cut a strip. This is so when you stick, you'll take this where the ends meet, you'll stick it along the edge, and that will hold it down so it looks continuous. Now what you want to do, I'm going to do it in pink, but you can do another third color if you want, or you can do it in white. But you take your pink and do one strip the width of the bucket again, or the circumference of the bucket I should say. Cut that. Since I don't need all of it, I'm going to attempt to do a little wavy pattern on it. If you want, you can just do one strip, you don't have to cut it. Or you can do half a strip with a straight line, but to be a little bit creative, I'm going to try and make it wavy. And you're just going to start at any point. I'm going to start at the seam I had, just to try and keep the seams together. And you're just going to make sure to fold that down, your ruffle. Stick the straight edge for me on. And these are going to hold down your ruffles, so the tops stay in and the bottoms poof out like ruffles. And since I didn't measure, I have a little bit extra, so I'm just going to cut it. Since I don't need this part, I'm just going to stick that on the bottom just because I want to put it there. If you have a duct tape ball, it would look really cool there. So there is that ruffle. And you can poof it out if you want. Now since I have this extra ruffle, I'm going to try and do it along the top of the basket. But before I do that, I'm just going to set this aside because every basket needs a handle. So again, I'm going to use my pink since that's my little color scheme going on. Handle can be any length you want. I'm just going to eyeball it. So I'm going to do, my board happens to be 18 inches. I'm just going to do it the 18 inches it is. Now if you want to get really creative, you can braid it for a handle. But I'm just going to do a simple strip. And how I do my strips, fold it almost in half. You want to leave some sticky here. Continue folding it. And then with the extra sticky, you're going to fold it back. And this makes it so there's no like sticky edges on the sides where the adhesive will tend to bunch up and just make it a little bit more unappealing. This gives it a nice smooth thing. If you want it extra sturdy, you can also just wrap this once more. But I'm not going to put too much heavy in here, so I'm just going to do the way with one. You can take pink or white. I'm actually going to do white for this, just to try and create the blending. Now it doesn't matter how long, just enough to cover this. So I'm going to do about there. So it's about 3 inches for me. You take it. Now where the fold over is, on the seam on the inside, you're going to stick it onto it. And that should create like that. I'm only going to do one side for now. You're going to take your bucket. I'm going to stick it right on the inside of my bucket. Stick it down. If you want it even extra sturdy, again, you can add a piece of hot glue or more tape, whatever you want, and then take the other piece. Do the same thing you did on the other side. Stick it down. Now if you find your handle's too long, you can always trim it. I think mine's a pretty good size. Unfortunately, my camera won't let me do a whole angle in it. I think it's a good size. Now I'm going to take my pink again, just to add a bit more security on it. I'm going to cut like a ½ inch, 2 times, one for each side. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, and since I'm going to put this pink wavy on it, I can cover the white a little bit since you're not going to see it. And just stick it onto the rest of the handle. This makes it so it's stuck on both sides and won't peel off either way. So we're just going to repeat on the other side. And there we go. Now, if you like it how it is now, you can stop, but you should cover up these if you don't want to see it. I'm going to take my wavy strip. And I'm going to just go along the top. And try and keep it lined up with the top. So now I'm all done, and you can add more decorations if you want. You can even write your name across of it, but I'm pretty satisfied, and now you just fill it with goodies. You are all set for Easter. So I hope you have a good Easter if you celebrate it, and if not, just have a good weekend and try and relax. Thanks for watching. Bye!